What up, gamers? I'm Jason.
I'm Julie.
And today on Dice and Dragons, we are going to be reviewing Scooby Doo Escape from the Haunted Mansion, a Coded Chronicles mystery game based on, of course, as you can see, Scooby Doo. And Julie's now going to tell you more about the game itself. But before that, I do need to mention the designers, who are Jay Cormier, Sen-Foong, and it is published by the Op Games. This is also a review copy, so big thanks to Ross Thompson and the Op Games for giving us a chance to take a look at a Coded Chronicles game. This is the first one of these that we've ever played.
And that's my cue to remind you that though we're very happy to have this review copy, we'd like to remind everybody that our opinions will remain our own.
All right, now take it away, Julie.
So this is a cooperative game that is intended for ages 12 and above. It plays one to many players, so as many people as you'd like participating in this game. That's cool. That's the way you can play it. And there isn't really a time limit on this game. It's probably
I would say, an hour and a half to 2 hours.
I was going to say 2 hours.
If you're going to be breaking it up. I think the whole game itself, and you can play it in one shot, is probably between 3 to 4 hours, depending on how you're just cruising along once you get into the groove of things. So what are you going to be doing in Scooby Doo Escape from the Haunted Mansion? Well, you're going to be exploring the Haunted Mansion. You'll be using your characters to solve the mystery. By doing that, you're going to be putting their standee next to different numbers, reading from a booklet, follow what is in the booklet. Definitely feels like a Scooby-Doo adventure. You'll be revealing cards and clues as you try to find out who is haunting the Fairmont mansion and what is really going on in the house in classic Scooby-Doo fashion. So do you think I've missed anything at all, Julie?
I think you've covered it.
All right, so what time is it?
Time to grab our drink.
Grab our best friend. And let's go solve this mystery.
I was going to say, let's take it to the table.
We got to solve the mystery if we're taking it to the table.
Yep.
Now we're just going to take a quick look at the components for Scooby Doo Escape from the Haunted Mansion and also show you a little bit of the basics of the gameplay. We don't want to do a full how to play because that's going to get into the spoiler territory. So we do have the rule book that's going to teach you how to use the Coded Chronicles system, and you just want to read this first. You're not going to want to necessarily flip through the other books because there will be some spoilers. So as you can see, it explains how you're going to be conducting research, and it's very straightforward. This also keeps tracks of the Scooby snacks, the hints, and any negatives that you're going to experience when you go through the game. We'll just put this down at the bottom now. So we do have the books for all the different characters. So Velma is represented as 1, her abilities research. Shaggy is eat, number 2. Daphne is number 3 with ability of use. Scooby is smell at number 4. And we've got Fred investigate as number 5. So let's place those back. And you can see that you have the standees for all the characters with their numbers as well. Now, we're going to flip over this tile because you're going to see it anyway. So what you essentially do, if you want to research something, you'll put Velma like that, and then you're going to go to her book and read entry 1201. Now, you may have less numbers, so you're going to require an item or potentially assistance from another player. So, for example, if you only have 1 number, you might go to 11, and then whoever else you would have assisting you would maybe do 41. So you would then go to 1141 in order to solve the puzzle. Now, this happened to Julie and I. It's not quite clear in the rule book. That's why I wanted to mention it, so you get an idea as to what you're going to be doing. Now, there are all of these different cards. You have a total of 60 of them. They get revealed when you are instructed to reveal them by the game. So as you're exploring the different map tiles, and we flipped over the top one, let's go ahead and take a look at how many there are. So there are a total of 13 different map tiles. So as you're exploring the Haunted Mansion, you will then be finding clues and revealing these cards. Now you can see the standees is quite clear. Velma research, Shaggy eat, Daphne use, Scooby smell, and Fred is investigate. Now this envelope is for chapter 2. This is empty, as you can see. It's just for you to save your game. And then we've got all of these other secret envelopes You're going to be opening as you play the game. And don't worry, they're easy to reseal. So once you have played the game, you can reset it and then pass it on to someone else. Or if you didn't do so well, wait maybe a year or two, take it back out and try again. So there you have it. Those are the components for Scooby Doo Escape from the Haunted Mansion, a Coded Chronicles game. Now keep it right here as Julie and I will be coming back at you with our review of the game. Scooby Doo Escape from the Haunted Mansion. What did you think of this game?
Well, though I haven't seen a Scooby Doo episode in a really long time, I felt like I was living a Scooby Doo episode. So I think that's something positive there in itself.
Yes. When we're talking about licensed games, there's good ones, there's bad ones. This game uses the license perfectly. The dialogue, what's happening, how you go about solving the mystery, the types of clues you find. It feels exactly like a wacky, zany episode of Scooby-Doo.
So in that regard, I definitely believe that this game can be played with younger kids than 12.
I would say 12 plus is if they're playing by themselves.
Yeah, I think if you're playing with adults, if the kids are playing with adults, if adults are playing with kids, I think you could play, especially since you can play as many as you want. I think as long as they are willing to sit and play the game and listen, they don't even have to read the clues. They could just help in the decision making of how this game is played.
So I would say this, if your kids like to sit and listen to you reading them a book or a story, you can probably play this game with them. If they do not like doing that, probably wait till they get older.
Yeah. So I mean, I enjoyed reading the clues and the way that system works of using each of the characters' abilities. So either investigate or use. Some of them are less obvious, like eat and smell. I mean, smell wasn't that bad. You know when you smell, but he's not as useful to smell as you would think.
And same thing with eat. Also, it did get a little clunky in one portion because you do need to use two characters to put, you use one character in one number and one character in another number to put it together. When we were reading the rule book, it didn't say that you could do that. So you do need to use your intuition to figure out some stuff. And there is definitely a little bit of clunkiness throughout the entire game.
So the one negative thing I would say about this is that the puzzles are perfect in the sense as they don't necessarily line up perfectly.
Well, you can give an example. We were trying to figure out the ducks. You'll get there when you get there. No spoilers. They did not line up exactly right, and I looked at Julie and said, that can't work. Everything is off just a little bit. And lo and behold, we looked through the books because that was the only way we could figure it out, and it was the correct solution. So that was a little frustrating.
So for me, I'm not a puzzle person. I don't like playing puzzles. I don't like taking on puzzles and doing them. That's just not me. So that was part of the game that I didn't enjoy as much. It was still fun, just not my favorite style of play for the two of us, I would say.
No, and I agree with you. Like, look, I'm the video gamer that buys strategy guides, not because I want the walkthrough, because I don't want to deal with the puzzles. I buy the strategy guides to get the solution to the puzzles and to make sure I don't miss anything. So it's a little frustrating with certain puzzles where even if they're not difficult, I just feel like I could be advancing in the game. And these are definitely those kinds of puzzles that I really don't enjoy. That being said, it's not a detriment to the game. If you do like those kinds of puzzles, then you're really going to enjoy the entire experience.
Yeah. I think the best way to describe this is a great family game. I wouldn't recommend it if you've been watching the channel and you see the type of game that Jason and I like to play together. Probably not for you if this is the type of game that, if you like those games. This is a family game. This is something that you probably don't want to play for adults together unless you've got this weird Scooby-Doo fetish. But
well, 4 adults could enjoy it. You're still going to have a good time, but this is a chill afternoon. Probably want to have some adult beverages. Not saying that you would want to drink a lot of them, but it's a relaxing game night.
Well, I wouldn't say relaxing. It's a not too complicated.
It's still relaxing. You're still having fun. It's still Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
You're going to be enjoying yourself. You're not going to be crunching the numbers like you're playing CO2.
You know what? I can see, who I see this for? My cousin, one of my cousins has 3 boys. that love playing games, and she often looks for games that they can play together. I think this is the type of game that would be great for that kind of environment. If you have some older kids, in the sense of, above 10, or at least one or two of them above 10, I think this is definitely a game that they could play together, and that they would have a lot of fun.
And I think it's important to stress, though, this is a one and done game. Now, the game does let you reset itself. It's very straightforward for the reset. I did mention the clunkiness. It actually doesn't tell you when to put back a dartboard, so just make note of that yourself. That's why I just wanted to mention it, because it's not clear when you're going to be resetting it. But that being said, I mean, we're probably going to keep this. We're going to end up playing it with
our little guy in several years.
Yeah, in several years. But this is probably going to be passed around. I mean, we don't often lend out games from our collection, but this is one that I would readily lend out to your cousin. We've got our friend Kevin that's interested in playing it. Like, this one will definitely be passed around and shared with other people, because it's a great family fun time, and it definitely brought me back to being a kid, watching those episodes of Scooby Doo and just having a good time. Although some of them are really bad, but I think I was a little too old for it.
So I think that's all I really have to say about it. I'd be willing to give it a score now, unless you have something to add.
No, I think that's covered everything. The only negatives were really just the clunkiness on certain things. Oh, also, one last thing to add. If you do save it and go into Chapter 2, you do need Envelope 3 opened in order to solve the game. So if you missed it, when you get to Chapter 2, you will get a whole list of cards that you were supposed to have, and penalties if you missed it. Just remember, you need Secret Envelope 3 open. Otherwise, you're not going to go anywhere. So, those are little finicky things.
So my rating for this game is a 6.5 as a family game.
And I have to agree with you. I give it a 6.5 just because of some of the little clunkiness that we found in the game. Also, how useless some of the clues were when we tried to use the clues, because we were frustrated and something just didn't make sense. And then we figured out that we actually... Well, Julie's idea was correct. So 6.5, it's a good family game. It's not a collection essential. You're going to buy it, you're going to have a good time. Then you're going to pass it along to someone else who will also have a great time. And if you're a Scooby Doo fan, this perfectly captures the feel of the show. You should definitely pick it up.
Yep. So on that note, it's time to remind you to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when we have new content for you.
Also, take a look down below in the video description. You'll find links to all of our social media feeds, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You'll see pictures of Julie and I playing Scooby Doo Escape from the Haunted Mansion. You may even be able to find some spoilers that will help you out, because we found some of those puzzles a little obnoxious. But don't pay too close attention if you don't want any spoilers. And then also, if you're looking to pick up this game, we do have our discount code for multizone.ca, where you will get 10% off your next purchase, and it's a great way for you to support the channel, because a portion of your purchase is returned to the channel as well. And you will also find all of our pictures and everything else that you need down there in the description.
So in front of Jason will be popping up a link to our most recent video, and in front of me, another op game. Jay, which one?
Let's go with Harry Potter, the House Cup competition.
There you go. Sound one of my favorite.
Yes, one of the ones you quite enjoy.
Yes. So, again, it's time
for us to grab our drinks. Grab our best friend.
We're going to keep playing games.
Keep playing games. I wonder if we're going to get another Coded Chronicles game. This is the only one I've ever seen, actually.
Guess we'll see.
Yep.
It's a mystery.